It's fresh off his testimony in his grilling in D.C. last week. Toyota's chief Akio Toyoda says the company, quote, won't hide the truth about its technical faults as he appealed directly to customers now in the world's biggest auto market of China. And our correspondent Stephen Engel was there last night for two of Toyota's events in Beijing. And Steve, it looks like Mr. Toyoda still with a lot of apologies, not many solutions.
Well, yes, Toyoda-san apologizing several times, Susan, in front of the mainland media and pledged to cooperate with any possible investigation in China. Fresh off, as you just mentioned, that grilling before a U.S. congressional panel, Toyoda-san got on the plane and flew to China yesterday and faced the media in a packed ballroom, bowing first and then apologizing a couple of times for the product defects in its cars in China and, of course, worldwide. Toyota said January 28th it's recalling about 75,000 RAV4. Those are the smaller sport utility vehicles in China. A small number, yes, compared to the 8 million cars in the latest worldwide recall involving faulty accelerator pads. But Toyoda-san also has said that a string of defects in China in the past year, from faulty electric windows to problems with engine oil leaking, more than 1 million cars have been recalled in China by Toyota since April of last year.
Toyota's large-scale recall around the world, including China, has caused much concern and confusion. For this, we express our deepest apologies. We are very sorry.
Now, Toyota has said that shortening production times may have contributed to these product defects. Toyota met with China's Commerce Minister Chen Deming during his Beijing visit, and a few days, of course, after being grilled by a U.S. congressional panel in Washington. So his later teary speech to Toyota dealers in the U.S. that same day became a media sensation back in Japan. And late last night, after that big press conference, I was able to get into a smaller press gathering between Toyoda-san and the Japanese media, which, of course, was very keen to know more about Toyota's level of remorse.
I have been trying to protect them, the American employees, but in reality, they were protecting me. And the moment I realized this, I was truly sorry. I may be understood in Asia, but not in the US. But my heart responded in the form of those tears.
Now, Toyota has said that, I mentioned the shortening those production lines was going to led to a lot of these problems in the China market. Toyota's appearance in China clearly shows that he values the China market, where Toyota's sales are about half those of the market leaders, Volkswagen and General Motors. February sales for Toyota rose 30%, and Toyoda-san reiterated a goal of boosting China sales by 13% this year to 800,000 vehicles. How does that compare to GM? GM aims to sell 2 million this year in China. So they have some catch-up work to do. Toyota makes cars in China with joint venture partners China First Auto Works, or FAW, also Guangzhou Automobile, after getting a relatively late start to the market. Susan, it didn't open its first plant here until December 2000, but it's now ramping up capacity at its FAW plant in Chengdu, down in the southwest, and will build a second plant up in the northeast in Changchun. Susan?
Yeah, Steve, it's interesting. It looks like Toyota is going on the offensive here for a damage control after being criticized early in these recalls for being practically absent.
Yeah, you could even argue that they're going on the defensive to go on the offensive, because they're apologizing. As I said, he apologized and bowed several times before the China market. This is an incredibly important market. Yes, Toyota is about number 4 as far as the foreign auto players here in China, about 7.8, about 8% market share. So they have a lot of room to grow. They don't want to get knocked back too severely by the brand, the brand equity getting knocked too badly here in the China market,
well,
which is so important to everyone.
They say they say the best offense is the best defense. So there you go. Toyota's tactics. Okay, Steve.